Good evening. Hi, good evening. Welcome to the webinar. Thanks so much for being here, and thanks for postponing from last week. For those of you who attempted to get in and couldn't, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to do that. I'm so pleased that you're here tonight. We're going to be focusing on overwhelm, and that's quite a big subject in itself. Overwhelm, whatever that means to you, breaking it down into smaller chunks, but also looking at the opposite of overwhelm, which maybe I'm not enough in some way, not good enough, that kind of scarcity side of it, and then underlying beliefs around what's the worst case scenario of this thing not happening. So you've already identified with a few people that even emotions themselves are overwhelming, and someone said feeling overwhelmed by loss of relationships. So overwhelm can mean different things for different people, and it's the impact it has on you. So through the call, really notice what happens to your body. What's your body telling you? We all do all of it to some degree or other. And whether you share what's going on for you in the chat box, and I say it out loud, or I'm sharing someone else's, you will probably be able to resonate with it on some level. Trust what comes up. If you'd like to share in the chat box, I won't mention your name, but sharing how you feel is really helpful because I can be really specific when we're tapping, and we'll clear feelings for you. We'll go through that as we go. So welcome. Chat box is there if you need to contact me. Look after yourself emotionally. If you do trigger something, just keep tapping, keep breathing, stay in the room. Let me know if you need help, and we will get started. Good. So hands over your heart to start to begin with. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, nice and easy, all the way down into your tummy. It's a hot day. When it is here, the heat's been building up. You might feel tired, dehydrated. Just breathe, check in with yourself. Put everything that's brought you up to this point, leave it at the door. This is time for you. Relax and breathe. You can roll your shoulders a few times. Really feel, you might even want to push them down. Feel any tension falling away. Stretch your neck. Really feel the chair beneath you. Comfy, lovely. And then breathe in a colour or an energy, something that's going to help you today. Maybe it's sunshine. Let's just tap a few rounds and breathe, focusing on that colour. So tapping on top of the head and through the points. If you haven't tapped before, then just do what I'm doing. Beginning of the eyebrow, tap and breathe. So a little reminder, even if you're familiar with tapping, each point relates to the side of the eye, each point relates to a different organ and a different emotion in the body. And as we're tapping through, tapping under the eye and breathing, we're clearing blockages in the energy system, allowing energy to flow, emotions to flow, clearing and releasing. Good. Tapping on the collarbones. So the collarbones, what I call the emergency tapping points. This is a really good emergency tapping points if you're stressed, tense, things are feeling too much, or you want more energy, whatever it is, just tap and breathe. Focus on this one point. If you can't remember the order of the points or anything else, just tap and breathe. You can even just putting your hand to your chest will also help calm the system. So your heart is what's reading the environment, sending messages to your brain and to your mind that are sending the emotions and the energy through your body. And as you know, your body and mind are very closely linked. So they're informing each other continually. But when we start and focus on the heart, calm, relax, release tension from the heart, reassure your heart center. Your heart center will tell your brain, your mind, your body to relax. And breathe and tapping under the arm. And then on the thumb. And through the finger points. Lovely. Breathe. And relax. And let go. We'll just tap another round, side of the hand, top of the head. And beginning of the eyebrow, just tapping and breathe. So normally you would tap about 7 times on each point. You don't need to count. Under the eye, just do what feels right. Sometimes you might want to stay on one point longer. Under the nose, checking in. On the chin. Good. And you might notice that the more you tap, the quicker your body will start to relax in these first few rounds of just tapping and connecting in. Clarity will come quicker, it just becomes second nature, it becomes a good habit. You might find that your tummy gurgles, you might yawn, you might want to stretch, you might cry. That's an energy shifting through your body, which is what we're doing. All our emotions are energy in motion, emotion, energy in motion. Blockages are caused by our core beliefs, so the way that we feel ourselves and about the world. Past traumas affect our energy flow. Toxins, things that we put in our body affects our energy flow. None of that is good or bad, it's just what it is. So we want to find the blockages and allow them to release and flow. Our emotions want to be felt, and overwhelm is a really interesting one, and somebody's already identified the feelings themselves can be overwhelming. We don't want to feel these negative things, or it can be too much, and we can kind of suppress the emotions, like this is enough, but this is too much. Or rather than allowing emotion to come up and out, we might suppress it, push it down, and spend all this energy kind of pretending we're okay whilst this energy is down there. We might act out the energy. So if you're feeling angry, rather than kind of putting a lid on it, you might explode, put that onto somebody else, or you might escape from an emotion. So using drugs, alcohol, TV, behaviors to just avoid your feelings, basically. That's kind of what we do most of the time with the feelings we don't want to feel. And we don't want to feel the negative things generally. And the pain is a much bigger driver, has a much bigger impact. So moving away from something that doesn't feel good has much more of an effect on you than moving towards something that does feel good. So it's just a good thing to notice. Generally, as humans, we want to move away quickly from danger, and we'll kind of move all right. Yeah, I'd like something nice, but the thing, nothing like fear to motivate you to get away from something or to get something to happen. So those negative feelings can have a big impact on us because they want us to stay alive. They are survival instincts. Our number one priority for the unconscious mind is to stay alive. It's survival. Everything else is secondary, essentially. And excuse me, let's mute for a second. Sorry. As we start to unpick the core beliefs underneath that are causing the fears, I'm not good enough, life is unfair, I need to be perfect to be loved, all these different beliefs that can be driving the negative feelings, driving us towards behaviors that are not helpful. The more we can unpick those and release them, the easier it is to allow these good things to come. So I hope that makes sense. Excuse the coughing, etc. So what does overwhelm mean for you? What does it feel like? What does overwhelm feel like? It might freeze you. Your whole body might tense up. You might find yourself being very irritable. You feel pressure building up. What is it that overwhelms you? Time, people, situations, someone said, emotions. What is it that triggers that emotion? So as I say, sharing would be really helpful. Overwhelm at the moment is showing itself as wanting to avoid how I'm feeling or what I know I should be doing with social media, TV and housework. Okay, so that sounds a little bit like procrastination. I know what I need to do, but it feels too difficult, too much. Maybe that's a feeling I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do next. So from a practical point of view, if something feels overwhelming, it's because you're trying to do too much at once. If you can break it down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, you can get to the next step. So the first step might be to write a list of all the things that you need to do and then choose the easiest one. So when you want to run a marathon, if you want to run a marathon, you need good equipment, you need good trainers, but always it's like, what's the first step? Use one step at a time, one step at a time. You wouldn't go out tomorrow and run a marathon. It would really hurt. You break it down into the process, you get help, you get a training plan, all of these things happen. Okay, so overwhelm, what does overwhelm feel like in your body? So find a situation in your mind that has been overwhelming, even currently or in the past. When I'm overwhelmed, I feel out of control. Okay, great. So what does that feel like? What does it feeling out of control feel like? Is it in your breathing? Is it in your head, in your legs? Is it panic? So I feel totally powerless or panic struck. Great, really good. Not great that you're feeling that. Panic, what does panic feel like in your body? Does that affect your breath? Does it freeze you? What does panic feel like? We're just going to tap on the side of the hand while we start tuning into overwhelm. What does overwhelm feel like? Feeling it's too much. And don't worry, any feelings that come up are just feelings. You are safe and all is well right now. Very short fuse, can't think straight, heavy dark cloud. Okay, and what does that feel like in your body? Where is that energy in your body? Where is panic in your body? In your head. Great. Good. Good. So very short fuse, can't think straight, heavy dark cloud in your head. So someone's got panic, powerlessness. Sometimes with overwhelm, it can sort of feel like it's all in your brain or in your mind and not in your body. Maybe you don't feel it in your body. Maybe it's an out of body feeling. Freezes you into not being constructive. Absolutely it does. Yeah, absolutely. Downhearted in chest area. Okay, so kind of heaviness. And that's the thing. When you've got a lot to do, overwhelm stops you from doing anything. It's really frustrating. It's the exact opposite of what you need in that moment. Okay, so nice deep breath. Tuning into that overwhelm. And give that a score out of 10. You can pop that in the chat box if you like, or you can make a note of it. I feel I won't survive this heartache. When you say it's nonsense, it's not nonsense. None of our feelings are nonsense. They're telling you something. And that is a layer in itself. Good 8. Okay, so we've got some high levels of overwhelm. So don't worry, you're going to feel calmer and more relaxed in a moment. So I'm going to do some general tapping. I'm just still tapping on the side of the hand. This point here, the side of the hand, is actually known as making friends with the problem. Someone's got a good 7. So when we're tapping on this point, this is the small intestine, which is helping us to digest the ideas, digest the fear, because you can do whatever you want. You are in control, even if it feels like you're not. Nice deep breath. I'm with you, you're safe. Just breathe, good. So repeating after me, one hand over your heart, tapping on top of the head, noticing the overwhelm and repeating after me, all this overwhelm. Eyebrow, all this overwhelm. Side of the eye. This pressure under the eye. All this feeling that I won't survive, this heartache. Under the nose. This feeling that it's nonsense. On the chin, all this panic. Collarbone. This downhearted feeling in my chest. Under the arm. This heavy dark cloud. On the thumb. All this overwhelm. First finger, feeling powerless. Middle finger, all this overwhelm. Ring finger, feeling out of control. Little finger, letting it go. Side of the hand. Top of the head. When I feel overwhelmed, eyebrow, I feel out of control. Side of the eye. And I can't take any action. Under the arm. I need to do something. Under the nose. And I can't do anything. On the chin. All this emotion. Collarbone. All this overwhelm. Under the arm. I can't think straight. On the thumb. I feel panicked. First finger. All this powerlessness. Middle finger. It's still too much. Ring finger. Even my feelings of overwhelm are overwhelming. Middle finger. Letting it go. Side of the hand. I'm noticing all of this. Top of the head. All this overwhelm. Eyebrow. Letting it go. Side of the eye. It feels like I have to get everything done now. Under the eye. It feels like I have to have everything finished. Under the nose. It feels like I should be doing something else. On the chin. That I should have done more. Collarbone. That there's more to do. Under the arm. That I have a mountain to climb. On the thumb. All this emotion. First finger. All this overwhelm. Middle finger. I'm not a superhero. Ring finger. I'm a human. Little finger. A human with big ambition. Side of the hand. A human with lots to do. Top of the head. There's always something to do when you're a human. Eyebrow. Sometimes getting to bed can feel overwhelming. Side of the eye. All these things I have to do. Under the eye. This checklist. Under the nose. Letting it go. On the chin. Releasing it now. Collarbone. All this overwhelm. Great. So staying on the collarbone for a moment. Just notice how the last few rounds have been feeling. Maybe you've been a bit distracted. Maybe it's been hard to focus. Just breathe and tap. And I wonder if that energy has moved somewhere as it's settled somewhere in your body. That panic, is it still panic? Is it a different feeling now? Has it gone maybe from all over into just your chest or into your legs? Check in with yourself. If you froze, are you starting to move? Nice deep breath. I'm just going to do a couple more rounds and then we'll check in, but just sort of a mini check-in now with yourself. Notice that the energy is starting to change. Every time you tap, you are clearing an element of overwhelm. Every tap, every breath, you are changing. Okay, staying on the collarbone, noticing the number out of 10. If it's an 8, bring it to 7.5. If it's a 7, bring it to a 6.5. Just bring down whatever emotion you're feeling to 0.5 less than it is now. Breathe. Good. People are starting to feel more relaxed. Lovely. We're going to keep tapping. Good. And then under the arm, all this overwhelm. And the thumb. I can't get everything done. First finger. Even if I did all the washing, middle finger. I'm wearing clothes that need washing. Ring finger. When I do the washing up, middle finger, there will always be another meal. Side of the hand. I can tidy everything away. Top of the head. And I will need to do that again in the future. Eyebrow. All these things I have to do. Side of the eye. I will need to do them again. Under the eye. And maybe I will enjoy that. Under the nose. And maybe I won't. On the chin. But I can choose to feel differently. Collarbone. I can choose to relax. Under the arm. Nice deep breath. Feeling my body relaxing. If I get to a good feeling, first finger, and bring this overwhelm down. Middle finger. I will know that I am in control. Ring finger. And when I'm in control, little finger, and the stress is less in my body, side of the hand, the easier it will be for me to make a decision on my next step. Lovely. Good. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Hands back over your heart. Just pause for a moment and check in. How's that feeling now? And bring that initial trigger to mind. Maybe it's a person or situation. What makes you overwhelmed? And how does that feel now? Good. Down to a 3, fantastic. So it's gone from 8 to a 3, brilliant. Down to a 4, more like a feeling of acceptance and understanding, fantastic. Really good. Feels like a freedom. Lovely. Wonderful. It's amazing, isn't it? Just a few rounds, 10, 15 minutes of tapping. Not going anything to specific. You've got what's specific in mind, but I'm being pretty general. I'm actually feeling all right today, but I do like a positive affirmations. Good. And it's actually really good to do this work when you're feeling good, because you're able to support and handle the emotion more easily when you're feeling good. So if you're on the floor, it's not a good time to go and heal your stuff. When you're feeling good, it's a really good time to really affirm that. So that's fantastic. I'm good. I'm glad you're feeling good. Lovely. So let's look at the feeling of not enough. So if something's overwhelming, is it because I'm not good enough? I haven't got enough time. I haven't got enough resource, money, something else. What comes up for you? What is it that you haven't got enough for? All of those. Okay. Good. As I said right at the beginning, we will do all of it. So what feels right for you? So not enough money, not good enough, not enough time, not enough support, not enough help. I need something. So it tends to be the first belief, if I can put it that way, core belief or fear of the unconscious mind is there's not enough. That's what drove us out to find food. Need more. Not good enough to focus myself like other people can. Great, good catch. Other people are better. That's a really good catch. I'm not okay, you're okay. That kind of victim mentality, that can be really debilitating and make overwhelm even stronger. Not true. You are good enough. I'm not good enough, therefore it won't be done well enough for better people. Wow, really good catch. I'm not good enough, therefore what I do isn't good enough. Other people will judge me. I wonder if that's in there too. Judgment is there. Comparison is an impossible and unresolvable viewpoint. You cannot compare yourself with other people because there's nobody like you who's had your experiences. So judgment. So not good enough, judgment, all of those feelings. Great. So we're going to do a little bit of tapping on that. And while we're doing that, I'd like you to think about what's the worst thing that's going to happen. Because if you're not good enough, what's the judgment mean? If they don't think you're good enough, what does that lead to? So that could be a fear of failure, fear of abandonment, fear of success, fear of judgment itself. What is underneath the judgment of other people? If I'm not good enough, something will happen, something bad will happen. Just trust whatever comes up. Fear of failure. So I'm not good enough can be core in itself. All right. So noticing what that feels like for you. Close your eyes for a moment if you haven't already. Hands over your heart. Fear of not feeling normal again. Great catch. So if it becomes overwhelming, too much, you're never going to come back down. So notice what that feels like in your body. Not enough. There's something wrong with me, which is why this won't work out. I'm not good enough. Therefore, whatever I need to do won't be done well enough. Therefore, feeling of failure, embarrassment, shame, won't be asked again. Great. Really good to catch all of those things. What does that mean if you're not asked again? Is that not important? Again, fear of abandonment maybe. I'm going to do my best to include all of these. But if I don't say the thing that feels right for you, just have that in your mind. Fear of not living my life in the present and missing out. I think it comes to abandonment, absolutely. Yeah, fear of missing out is a really interesting one, isn't it? I need to check that I'm everywhere, I'm not missing out on anything. Underlying is a fear of abandonment. Again, core basic survival instinct. We need to get it right for our caregivers, for our parents, when we're babies, so that we stay alive. And we just keep doing that, basically. So we're not triggering some very nice feelings. So you might notice that part of you doesn't even want to go there. So I just invite you just to feel it, breathe. Anything that's coming up now, you will feel differently soon. Just checking everyone's okay. Good. Welcome. So a couple of people join. Thank you. All right. So as I say, if you haven't closed your eyes, do so. Scan through your body. What does I'm not good enough feel like? So quite a lot of abandonment coming up, abandonment feeling. What does it feel like in your body? Is that fight or flight? Is it panic? Is it dread in your stomach? Is it heaviness in your heart? What is the emotion in your body? What is the sensation? That gives you a clue as to somewhere to start, and you can feel it starting to change. So one hand of your heart, just slowly tap on the collarbone and breathe. And we're going to go, stay on this point, and we're going to invite some emotions and some beliefs to come up. So just notice what resonates with you. Nice deep breath. Repeating after me. All these different fears. This fear of abandonment. This fear of not living my life. This fear of missing out. This fear of failing. This fear of embarrassment. This fear of shame. This fear of not being asked again. This fear of not feeling normal again. This fear of judgment. This not good enough feeling. And all these different aspects. Letting them go. Right, all this dread, staying on the collarbone, all this fear, feeling pointless, feeling surplus to requirements, feeling invalid, not valuing myself, not being valued by others. All these emotions. I notice all of these beliefs, all of these thoughts. I know deep down that they're not true, and I choose to let them go. All these different triggers for overwhelm, I choose to release and let them go. Lovely, and tapping top of the head, breathing. Let's invite a colour and energy to come in through your head and down through your body to release and dissolve this fear. And repeating after me, all these fears. Eyebrow. This not good enough feeling. Side of the eye. All this fear of missing out. Under the eye. All this fear that's underneath my overwhelm. Under the nose. This fear of abandonment. On the chin. This fear of lack in myself. Collarbone. So that I won't be abandoned. Under the arm. I am just staying in survival. On the thumb. I have brilliant self-care. First finger. All these fears. Middle finger. Are my mind protecting me? Ring finger. My body trying to stay alive. Little finger. My mind trying to keep me safe. Side of the hand. All these fears. Top of the head. Are just trying to keep me safe. Eyebrow. I am good enough. Side of the eye. Even if it doesn't feel like it. Under the eye. And I know I'm doing better than I think I am. Under the nose. Everyone's always doing better than they think they are. On the chin. Other people don't seem to have the same problems. Collarbone. It's easy for other people. Under the arm. I can look into the world on the thumb and see people coping, first finger, people getting things done, middle finger, doing things well, ring finger, being so successful, little finger. But I don't know how they feel, side of the hand. I don't know what they've been through, top of the head. Maybe they're more terrified than I am, eyebrow. Maybe they hide that from themselves, side of the eye. I will never know what's true, under the eye. And it doesn't matter, under the nose. Comparing myself to other people, on the chin, will never end well for me. Collarbone. We are all struggling in our own struggle, under the arm. We are all battling our own demons, in the thumb. Part of us always will feel not good enough, first finger, and part of us will always know that that's not true, middle finger. This battle, ring finger, these fears, little finger, these feelings of not being good enough, side of the hand, all these emotions, top of the head, all these fears, beginning of the eyebrow, starting to let them go, side of the eye. I wonder what life would be like, under the eye, if I didn't have these fears, under the nose, if I knew that I was good enough for whatever I needed to do, on the chin. I wonder what that would be like, collarbone, to have total faith in myself, under the arm. I wonder if that's even possible, on the thumb. I wonder if I would even want that, first finger. It's interesting what I would resist, middle finger. But I wonder what it would be like, ring finger, to feel so confident, little finger, in any tiny step that I took, side of the hand. I wonder what that would be like. If there was no part of me stopping me, eyebrow. I wonder what that would be like, side of the eye. I wonder if I've ever felt like that, under the eye. Totally 100% confident in myself, under the nose. I know that I'm breathing, on the chin. I'm confident in that, collarbone. There are many, many, many things that I do, under the arm, without thinking about them, the thumb, that I'm perfectly capable of, first finger, that I can do easily, middle finger, that I can do well, ring finger, that I enjoy, little finger. And I'm going to start to spot those more and more, side of the hand. It's easy to see the things that I don't go well, head. It's easy to see the problems, eyebrow. It's easier to see the problems, side of the eye, than it is to see where I'm doing well, under the eye, because my mind needs to see the problems, under the nose, to keep me safe, on the chin. The good stuff doesn't matter to my mind, collarbone. It's fun and it feels good, under the arm, but it doesn't motivate me like fear does, on the thumb. It doesn't motivate me like safety does, first finger. I enjoy feeling good, middle finger, but fear really makes me move, ring finger. And I'd like that to change, little finger. I'd like to redress that balance, side of the hand, and start to notice the good things, top of the head. Part of me is afraid of abandonment, eyebrow, that I will be left, side of the eye, that nobody will be here for me, under the eye. But when I feel that I'm not good enough, under the nose, I'm abandoning myself, on the chin. And when I abandon myself, collarbone, I invite others to abandon me too, under the arm. When I'm confident in myself, on the thumb, I invite others to be confident in me too. Others are probably more confident in me than I am, middle finger. And I can change that, ring finger. I can find the things I'm good at, little finger. Focus on those, side of the hand, and congratulate and celebrate myself. Nice deep breath. Good, hands over your heart. How was that? What came up for you there? What was that feeling like, that of abandoning yourself before somebody else would? Does that feel true? Does that make sense? You cannot feel any other emotions other than your own. What you do for yourself, others will show you. Check in with your body. How's that emotion now? How's the overwhelm? What's the not good enough feeling? Just check me in. How are you feeling? That may have been stirring some things up as well. Check how you're doing. Give you a moment to respond. Abandoning myself really hit home. Lots of emotion stuck in my throat. Still a little left. We'll be doing some more tapping, don't worry. That last 5-10 minutes was all me. You nailed it. Great. Oh, I'm so pleased. Me too. That was good. Great. And that's, we spend a lot of, well, we kind of, something happens and we have a reaction to it. So we think it's that person or that situation that caused it. But we've already done the abandoning, which is why that situation came up. That's why it's out there. It's because it's in here. That's the way around. We think it's outside and then hits us, but it's inside. And sometimes this will hit home with you as well. Someone who's on here, this one's for you. We fail first before, get the failing over with now before we get further down the road. So I'm going to do this, but I'm just going to give up now because I know I'm going to fail, so I'll do it now. Good to focus on confidence. Good. Absolutely. We will be tapping a little bit more, clearing something else, and then focusing on confidence and the bits that are working well. It's, as I say, the good stuff we don't notice so well. If you could find 10 things that went well today, I wonder if you'd have to really think about them. 10 things that went wrong, it's right there. That was deep, especially the part about other people may appear good, but not judging. They may have had worse experiences. Absolutely. I feel like that was a learning. Great. Absolutely. The number of people who believe when they start working these, they think everyone else is fine, no one else is anxious. I tell you, everybody I've met, anyone I work with has anxiety about something. Has something that don't feel good enough, some failure, because we're all human. And if you're human and you're alive, then there's something that you need to work on. And when you do the work and you heal your stuff, you're more available to help other people do the work and to see the good in them. Really good. Lovely. So any other emotions coming up? Any other realizations? This is fantastic. Thank you for sharing. It really, really helps to know that I'm on track for you, that you're getting what you need, and also just to experience the shift. Our minds are incredibly powerful. Your mind informs your body responds to your mind. It's that way around. So what is your mind telling you about you? Good. So whatever came up for you, close your eyes, hands over your heart for a moment. And we're not going to go into this too deeply, but I'd like you to float back over your past, look back into your past, however that represents itself to you, to a moment when you first abandoned yourself, or when you first felt that judgment of yourself. Maybe an age will come to mind, maybe a specific memory. Don't go into that memory, stay up and out of it, but send support, love, confidence, ease, a color, and energy. You can take a younger version of you out of that situation, take them somewhere safe. Just identify an age or a memory or a moment that needs help. Breathe. If that becomes triggering, open your eyes, come back to the room and tap on the collarbone. So you might feel a bit of a wave of emotion. Just breathe. You're safe. Whatever happened in the past is over. You're safe now. Just breathe and tap. Okay, and tapping top of the head and repeating after me. These moments from my past. Eyebrow. All this emotion. Side of the eye. That difficult moment. Under the eye. All those difficult moments. Under the nose. All of that trauma. On the chin. All the fear. Collarbone. I'm safe. Under the arm. Whatever happened, I got through it. On the thumb. All this emotion. Eyebrow. All this tension in my throat. Middle finger. These butterflies in my tummy. Ring finger. This fear in my mind. Little finger. I'm safe and all is well. Side of the hand. I was never abandoned. Top of the head. I was never abandoned. Eyebrow. Even if I was alone. Side of the eye. I was always with me. Under the eye. And I'm with me now. Under the nose. And I always will be. On the chin. Feeling abandoned is a feeling. Collarbone. It doesn't mean the truth. Nice deep breath. Breathing in love, energy, a colour. Keep sending that back. To say if emotions come up, just come back to the present, open your eyes, breathe. Tapping under the arm. All these moments from my past. All these different traumas. First finger. All these moments that set up my beliefs. Middle finger. All these moments that reinforce those beliefs. Ring finger. Letting them go. Little finger. Feeling calm. Side of the hand. I went through what I went through. Top of the head. I'm healing what I can. Eyebrow. Letting go of the pain. Side of the eye. Remembering that I am good enough. Under the eye. Remembering that I have incredible self-care. Under the nose. Remembering that I am a warrior for myself. On the chin. That these fears mean that my unconscious is helping me. Collarbone. That I am worth saving. Under the arm. That I value myself. The thumb. And the more that I value myself, first finger, the more others will value me too. Middle finger. The less I abandon myself. Ring finger. The less others will abandon me too. Little finger. I value myself. Side of the hand. I support myself. Good. Hands back of your heart. Just check in. That felt like a big wave of emotion. I don't know if you felt that too. Hopefully that was a release. Let me know how you're doing. If there's anything else to clear before we move into feeling something more confident, more positive, just check in. How are you doing? Fear is the subconscious helping you. Absolutely. Your unconscious mind knows that you are the most valuable thing on this planet because you are. To your unconscious mind, you are the most important thing. And the fear is trying to keep you alive and keep you safe. Someone just said throat feels itchy and mine started going, excuse me. Anyone else's throat going? Your throat's feeling the itchy moment too. Enormous release and realization. Fantastic. Good. Lovely. So we're going to focus more on the positive now, bringing in confidence, ease, flow, love. There's another way of doing it. There's another way of supporting yourself and loving yourself. And anything else that needs to release will just be falling away and releasing. Good. So that itchiness in your throat, have a drink, but maybe breathe in a colour, something soothing, releasing, relaxing. Excuse me. Nice deep breath. Top of the head and repeating after me. All these realizations. Eyebrow. All this release. Side of the hand. And even if those things didn't resonate with me, under the eye, they will resonate with someone I know. Under the nose. All this release. On the chin. Letting it go. Collarbone. All this itchiness in my throat. Under the arm. All this energy. On the thumb. All these realizations. First finger, all these judgments. Middle finger, letting all of it go. Ring finger, releasing it now. Little finger, it's safe to express myself. Side of the hand, it's safe to heal. Top of the head, it's safe to be creative. Eyebrow, it's safe to find another way. Side of the eye, it's safe to abandon the abandonment. Under the eye, it's safe to value myself. Under the nose, it's safe to release. On the chin, feeling good, feeling strong. Collarbone, it's so exciting. Under the arm, to know that I can choose something else. On the thumb, to know that I can choose freedom. First finger, to know that I'm good enough. Middle finger, to understand that my unconscious is fighting for me. Ring finger, and that means my unconscious thinks I'm fantastic. Middle finger, my unconscious knows I am so valuable that I need to be saved. Side of the hand, and it can do it in a more gentle way. Top of the head, my unconscious values me. Eyebrow, my unconscious mind values me. Side of the eye, which must mean that I value me. Under the eye, and the more that I value me, under the nose, the more others can value me too. On the chin, the more I value myself. Collarbone, the more others can value me too. Down the collarbone, let that settle for a while, let that sink in. Maybe there's a relief, maybe there's a fear, maybe there's an excitement. Just to understand that your mind is fighting for you because it loves you, it wants you to be safe, it wants you to be successful. All those fears, the intention of those fears are to keep you safe, keep you alive, to try and get you to happiness. Just goes about it in the wrong way. Good. And now close your eyes if you haven't already and move forward to a point in time in the future that feels right, an unspecified time. It could be days, weeks, months, or years into the future. I'm going to settle on a future you who is happy, who is relaxed, who feels loved, self-loved, valued, valid, accomplishing tiny tasks with ease and satisfaction. And connect with that future you. You might just get a sense of that energy. It might be an hour from now. It might be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Just see and connect with the future you who's feeling good and confident and happy. Just keep tapping on the collarbone and ask that future you to step into your body for a moment so you can experience what it feels like to be them, to release whatever you need to release, to value what you value, to be connected and supporting of yourself. Download this feeling into your body, copy their cells into your cells. Notice what this feeling is like. Does it have a color or a texture? Breathe. And take a moment to send this energy all the way back through your timeline, all the way back through every moment, every communication, every decision, every memory, all the way back to your birth, forward into your future, back into your past. Fill your home, your room, your mind, every cell of your body. Fill it with confidence, self-love, value, connection, and anything else you might feel that you need. Confidence, ease, and flow. And when you feel that in every cell of your body, make it bigger and brighter, stronger and clearer. Know it, feel it. Connect with that in your body, feel it in your heart. Take a nice deep breath, send that out wherever it needs to go, out into the world. Good. Just for a moment, you can ask that future you if they have any advice for you. Maybe you want to ask a question. What's my next step? Whatever you need. Take your time, and when you're ready, just come back to the here and now. Maybe your fingers and toes, stretch back in gently in your own time. Open your eyes and come back to your room. As I say, take your time, and I'd love to hear how that was for you. Did you get some advice from your future self? What was the colour? How are you doing? Just let me know how you are. And you can check in with how you felt at the beginning of the session, how you feel now. Bring to mind whatever it was, that issue. Maybe you can't even remember what that is now. And always, whatever you're going through, all you need to know is, what's my next step? What's my next step right now? Bright white colour, exercise is the key. Feeling so good, thank you. Oh, my pleasure. Exercise is the key. Great. So what is the tiny, tiny, tiny step to get exercise? Is it putting a date in your diary for the next time you're going to do it? Is it getting your trainers out? Break it down to a tiny step. What's your next tiny, tiny step? Excuse me. I love that. I haven't valued myself for years. It's easy to step away from that. Exercise comes to me too, always happens to me to get out of a hole. Absolutely. It's amazing, isn't it? Now we've got long, lovely, sunny evenings. Go for a walk, go for a run, connect with somebody. Good. Great to realise past events started abandonment. Hope to move on now. Absolutely, it's time. And it's one tiny step at a time. What's my next step? What's this step in this moment to get me to there? And you know it's the right step because you get a feeling of relief or satisfaction when you make the decision. So what's my next step? Okay, I need to exercise. Okay, what's my next step? I will find my trainers. Oh yeah, feels good. That feels a relief. That's how you know you're in the right track. You let your emotion guide you. Use the good feelings, feeling relief and satisfaction are showing you that you're going in the right direction. So I can't believe it, but we've come to the end of the call. Here we are, nearly 8 o'clock. Perfect hour. I could almost see a bright white colour coming from the future. Fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Really love doing these sessions. Thank you so much for being here. Please spread the word, invite people who you think might benefit. I will be popping the recording up on YouTube, on my website, on Facebook. The next session is the 3rd Wednesday of July, all being well. Don't forget the Stress Free Life Academy is there for you always. It's my online resource for anything you might need. Videos, audios, downloads, monthly Q&A with me. I'm also offering a free tapping half-hour tapping session, you can book one of those in for me. If you've got a specific issue you need help with, we can talk that through. So one-to-ones and the academy, whatever you need. I would love to hear your feedback. So every time you come on, there's a feedback form. So if you've already filled it in, don't worry unless there's something else you noticed. But if you haven't been before, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much. Many thanks to you too. Keep tapping, shout if you don't know what to do, and I'll point you in the right direction. See you next month and see you again soon. Lots of love. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.